Ladies and gentlemen, two girls, two boys, a phenomenon in pop music. ABBA.
Hello and welcome to Like a Magic Spell, the podcast which aims to unlock the joy of ABBA one song at a time. I'm Adrian, and this episode's coming to you a little bit later than planned due to a bit of illness, as you can probably hear in my voice, but it's a cracker nonetheless. We have made it to the end of this first kind of mini season. We've looked at all of the songs on Super Trooper, and here are the final two. They are, of course, Lay All Your Love on Me and The Way Old Friends Do, brackets live. I really hope you enjoy it. It was an absolute blast to record with Molly, who you're about to hear. Remember, if you want to get in touch, we are Like a Magic Spell on Instagram and likeamagicspell@gmail.com. I'll be back at the end to talk you through a few of the links in the show notes that I've put this week and also let you know what the future plans are for the podcast. But until then, enjoy this chat. My guest for this episode is author, broadcaster, mum, and my old radio pal, Molly Forbes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this.
That's the correct way to start. So, Molly, I ask all my guests this. What's your relationship with ABBA? What part or not does ABBA play in your life?
Loads of people, like loads of my friends grew up with ABBA, like in their homes, and, you know, they had like the records on and stuff. I didn't have any of that because my parents, they were a bit dismissive, I think, of ABBA. Like my dad was like, thinks of himself as a bit of a muso, like he like played the guitar and he's like Bob Dylan and stuff like that, you know, like ABBA weren't like cool enough. But I really sort of discovered ABBA when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and I started going out into like nightclubs, and they'd be on like in the cheesy room, you know, like at uni you'd have like the student union, or you'd have, you know, whatever club you were going to, and there would be like a cheesy room, and then there would be like an R&B room or a dance room. And I don't know if that's still the case because it's been so many years since I was last in a nightclub.
Me too.
Yeah, back in the olden days when I used to go, ABBA would come on and everyone would just sing along and dance, and everyone, like, no matter who you were, whether you were in like the student newspaper or the book club or, you know, one of the rugby lads, like everyone would be just kind of coming in to just sing along and know the songs, and it would get everyone on the dance floor.
I think there's something almost like primal about some of those, like Dancing Queen, for example. I mean, let's pick probably the most obvious example. The way it just starts and that sort of soaring chord, it just taps into your soul, doesn't it?
It evokes these nostalgic memories. When I hear ABBA, I think about those nights of, you know, joyous young, you know, freedom, pre-motherhood and pre kind of being a like proper grown up. But I also think of family parties, you know, like a do, like you go to a do and there'll be like a buffet and there'll be like the DJ and it will be like a wedding or some kind of do. And it's like ABBA will come on and you'll have everyone just go to the dance floor, and it doesn't matter, like across the generations. I can like picture my mum and my auntie and like my gran like dancing to ABBA on the dance floor and doing like, you know, the click, like the step, click kind of dance. But I also remember, and I think it was like mid-90s, Muriel's Wedding came out. And I remember loving that film. I've seen that film loads of times. And so obviously ABBA, you know, entered my brain at that point as well. And then as a mum myself, like my kids loved Mamma Mia. And, you know, they've both seen the films, and my mum had like the Mamma Mia soundtrack in her car when she used to have like a CD player in her car, and they used to listen to it. So it's just one of those things. I don't know how it's been in my life. I don't have like a specific memory of when I first discovered ABBA, but it's always just kind of been there.
If I had to put, no, I'm not going to say a gun to your head. That's awful. It just got really dark really quickly. If I had to pin you, no, that's worse. If I had to force you to decide, here we go, would you be able to pick a favourite ABBA song?
You know, I feel like there are different ABBA songs for different moods. I mean, Dancing Queen's obviously a classic, isn't it? That's probably the one that I think of when I think of the family do's. I like Lay All Your Love on Me, that we're going to talk about, because I like the drama of that song.
First of all, a few song facts. So, Lay All Your Love on Me, it's track 9 off Super Trooper, or side 2, track 4 on the old LP. Recording began on Tuesday, 9th of September 1980, my dad's birthday, and the final mix was completed on Friday, the 10th of October 1980. Not too much information around the kind of the backstory to the song, because it was only supposed to be an album track, but it was a big hit in the discotheques of the time, and DJs were kind of making bootleg copies of the song and just playing them out, and the management were like, hang on a minute, we should be making some money off this because it's our song. So they put it out as a 12-inch single. It was the 6th and final single from Super Trooper in the summer of 81. As I say, only released as a 12-inch single in Belgium, Ireland, Sweden, UK, West Germany, and the US. In the US, it was number 1 on the Billboard Dance Club Songs chart. I don't know why I say club like that, like I'm hip and modern. In the UK, it was the best-selling 12-inch single, only surpassed a couple of years later in 1983 by New Order's Blue Monday. It was named number 2 best ABBA song by the music writer Pete Fides in a Record Collector magazine, December 2022. It was named number 66 on the Slate magazine's Greatest Dance Songs of All Time in 2020. And of course, the poll that everybody needs to pay attention to, ITV's Nation's Favourite ABBA Song. So that was in 2010 and it came 14th in that poll. According to the UK official chart website yesterday, so we're recording this in December 2023, it's the 17th biggest selling ABBA song in the UK. It's been covered by American techno-pop group Information Society, the German power metal band Halloween, the German metal opera project Avantasia, and of course Erasure on their ABBA-esque EP. A few quotes about the song. So Ian Cole, in his book ABBA Song by Song, says, "Lay All Your Love on Me is often regarded as a prototype of 80s dance music." And you can kind of see that.
Yeah, because it's got all like the synthy kind of keyboardy kind of sounds going on. Yeah.
Bjorn says, "I'm actually proud of the fact that I was able to include the word incomprehensible and rhyme it with sensible."
It's poetic, isn't it? It is poetry.
And Pete Fides, the music writer, in his article, he says, "Just when it seemed like ABBA's gay fan base couldn't love them even more, along came Lay All Your Love on Me to formalise the special relationship. There was enough about Lay All Your Love on Me to have even the most unresponsive gaydar spinning like a helicopter blade."
What do you think it is about that song specifically?
I think it's to do with the drama and the unrequited love bordering on obsession. It's someone who is kind of almost driven to madness through desperation, I think.
Yeah, they're not playing it cool, are they?
No, they're not playing it cool. Just to finish off Pete's quote, it says, "In addition to that, here was a hook which seemed to belong to a requiem mass as much as a nightclub."
Oh, Pete.
Pete swallowed a dictionary, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
What was your gut reaction when you listened to it again?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, the drama is just immediately there. When I hear it, it makes me kind of like hold myself in a different way. Like I almost like stand up and stand taller. Like my posture changes. And I think I probably like it because it's so far removed from my real life. I've been married now for 12 years. I've got 2 daughters who are aged 13 and 9. I was 40 years old this year in October. You know, my life is not glamorous. It's very regular, normal. I work in like schools with kids. It's nice to be able to do like broadcasty bits and podcasts and writing and everything. But generally, it's like sorting out dirty knickers and making packed lunches and, you know, occasionally like treating myself to have a nice bath. So the drama of Lay All Your Love on Me, like the music, the immediate like first like sprinkling of notes immediately brings out the memories of like, you know, when you really, really got the hots for someone and you're just like, oh my God. And like the butterflies and the excitement and all of this stuff that is like so actually like awful. I wouldn't want to be back in those like, oh, awful. Like when are they going to text me back? Are they not? Like, what are the rules? And, you know, all of that stuff. I don't miss it at all. But there is something very exciting about it. And that song kind of brings it out, I think. And when you're that age, you are kind of living at the center of your own kind of film almost, you know?
It allows you to play a role, doesn't it? It allows you to just be someone else for 4 minutes, you know?
Yeah, and it's so catchy. I mean, as all ABBA songs are, but you can't hear it and then just not immediately kind of get into it, you know? And they're like, even the do-do-do, like the I wasn't jealous before, do-do-do, like the bit in between, you can't like help but like move your body to it. I was talking to my kids about it because I was interested to know if that sort of ABBA hold is going through the generations. So, you know, like if there was a family do, would my kids know the songs and get up and dance? And they both know ABBA. And I'm not really sure how, because it's not like we've really talked about. Yeah, my 13-year-old Freya, she was like, yeah, it's good. It's nice, good, like kind of like lukewarm, like fine. I feel like she was probably pacifying me because she was like getting ready for school and wanted to go to school. Yeah, I played it to Effie and she I've actually got a clip. Do you want to hear what she said?
Yeah.
7.3 out of 10. It's boring. The only bit I liked was the don't go wasting all your emotions. Lay all your love on me.
And I think the problem is now with getting kids to listen to a full song is really difficult because they're the TikTok generation. So they're used to songs that are like 1 minute.
Yeah.
She liked it for the first minute and then she said it was going on too long. However, one thing my 9-year-old did say, so we then got into a conversation about why it was like too long and why she liked shorter songs. She says that there are loads of other people doing that song online. So apparently there are loads of like memes and stuff. And I found one. Have you come across this guy, Ben Flo?
No.
Right. I've got, do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
He does like harmonies.
Don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. Don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. Don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me. Don't go wasting your emotion. Lay all your love on me.
These younger TikTok generation are being exposed to these songs and they are trending songs that are trending videos are being made, viral videos being made out of to like this old song.
I mean, I think that explains quite a lot in terms of, so as part of the episodes that we do, I go through the YouTube comments underneath the video, and some of the comments under this video were absolutely batshit. Like, and you can tell that people have come from TikTok on there. Honestly, it's like reading a different language. It shows my age. I had to Google what people were talking about in the YouTube comments.
Welcome to my world, Adrian. So literally, I have to get like to decipher some of the text from my 13-year-old. I'm like, what? I don't understand what that means. And also like Riz. Know that word?
Well, I only know it because as we record, it was in the news last week as the word of the year, wasn't it?
My 9-year-old came home and told me she was rizzing up a boy at school the other day. I was like, what the Riz? I was rizzing him up.
It's the up that's like, ooh.
I know.
So talking about the video, so there was no like official video for the song because they didn't expect it to be released as a single. As always, I like to have a look through the comments on YouTube. Okay, so first of all, Smash the Adam says, man, I don't think I've ever heard a song like this before. It's beautiful. I might be adding a little bit of dramatic effect to this. Reedside Official says, this song is art for my ears. Marcel Lumix says, I love this so much. Perfect melody. It gives off a kind of end of the world vibe.
It does. Marcel, I agree with you. Like there's definitely something about that like desperation. We've got 24 hours to live. Let's all quickly just kind of get it on kind of thing.
That's reminded me at university, we had someone in our hall of residence who was always like bustling in. He would like bustle in a room, do things and bustle out again. And my friend who had a really fantastic knack for nicknames called him 24 Hours to Kill the President Man, because every single action that he made, it's like he had 24 hours to kill the president.
This image of a bustling in is just brilliant.
He would bustle anywhere, like even if it was just into the dining hall of our hall of residence. He'd bustle in, get his tray, get his food, wolf it down, then be off again. I've said the word bustling a lot more than I would normally do. But yeah, so he was 24 hours to kill the president, man, and then that got shortened to just 24 hours. It'd be like, oh, have you seen 24 hours today? I haven't thought of 24 hours for years. Anyway, Avatar of Chaos says it's hard to say, but I think this is even better than Smooth Criminal.
Ooh, those are bold words.
I know, but why would you even compare the two?
Yeah, they're two very different songs from very different artists, very different genres.
Numpty Knob says, I'm going to add a bit of dramatic license here. This is when I read this is how I heard it. This is a good song for background music of like World War II.
I think I need to get my 9-year-old off YouTube. She's obviously, I hate the thought that she's going round trolling, writing mean comments on ABBA songs. It's just out of order. And what made her choose that name as well for her YouTube account? That's awful.
And finally, user QD50W1RG9E, I don't know if that's their real name, simply says, Princess Diana, 4 heart emojis.
What's Princess Diana got to do with it?
I have no idea.
Oh, right.
There's no reason.
Yeah, wow. I love the internet.
It's allowing us to speak today, so I'm a big fan. Okay, so final thoughts on Lay All Your Love on Me. I'm going to say the way the vocals work in the chorus, it sounds like an actual chorus of people. I'm going to say it's a hymn to dance.
Yes, it is. I agree with you. But I also think it evokes for me dancing on your own. Because I feel like it's one of those songs when it comes on, you just have to kind of really go into character.
Yeah.
And I think unless maybe like if it was 2003 and I was in a nightclub and that song came on and I'd had like 3 Sambucas and like, you know, however many other drinks, then I probably would just go straight into character and not have any issues with that. But I don't know if I would ever be in that situation these days now.
And that thing of like, just when you said that about being in a nightclub, like it's that thing of like staring across the dance floor at someone and you're like, why can't they be mine?
Yeah. And then also, as you just said that, staring across the dance floor, like I'm sure there probably have been times when it's like me and my friends would do like the spinning each other around and being very dramatic and doing like the whole kind of moves to it and being really annoying actually, because everyone else just wants to do their step click kind of dancing. And we're like, no, like create some space, people. We need to move properly. This is a whole production.
So marks out of 10 from you. So what did Effie give it? 7.3?
She gave it a 7.3, which was pretty harsh. Oh, I'm going to give it 9.5.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know what it needs to do to be a 10. I feel like I don't know if I could give any song a 10, really. Maybe Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of Your Heart, just because it's got a special place for me in my life. But yeah, I reckon 9.5. I don't know. Do you think that's fair?
I think that's very fair, yeah. I'd go 9 just because I'm thinking of comparing it with other songs in the canon.
Yeah.
But definitely a very, very strong 9.
What beats it for you?
Oh, well, where do we start? The Day Before You Came, which is just an absolute, not car crash. I'm trying to think of a word that describes being hit by a truck.
Punch in the guts.
Yeah. It's like a visceral experience. But again, that's Agneta. That's kind of what Pete Fetus was saying about when the protagonist has been abandoned or damaged in some way. It's always Agneta that seems to be singing the songs. So let's go on to the next one. The Way Old Friends Do brackets live. A few song facts about this. The final track on Super Trooper, so side 2, track 5 on the album. It's the shortest song on the album, 2 minutes 53. Not released as a single. Obviously, it's a live one, so it was actually taken from one of their 6 Wembley Arena shows in November 1979. For the album, the original track from the concert was kind of tarted up a bit. A few more synthesizers, bit of vocal polishing here and there. So it's kind of like a weird kind of hybrid live track. The track ends on applause, and on the original vinyl pressing of the album, there was a run-out groove, so it would just loop on the applause forever and ever and ever.
That's cool. And also a little bit annoying.
In 2016, there was a party to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Benny and Bjorn meeting. At the party, Agneta and Frida got up on stage to sing this to their ex-husbands. This was widely misreported at the time as a reunion performance, but it was just Agneta and Frida. In 2023, the actor and playwright Ian Hallard debuted his comedy play called The Way Old Friends Do. Now, the blurb of the play, get this, the blurb says, The Way Old Friends Do is a new comedy about devotion, desire, and dancing queens. In 1988, two school friends tentatively come out to one another, one as gay, the other, more shockingly, as an ABBA fan. Nearly 30 years later, a chance meeting sets them on a brand new path, and they decide to form the world's first ABBA tribute band in drag. But can their friendship survive the tribulations of a life on the road, which includes platform boots, fake beards, and a distinctly attractive stranger? Simultaneously tender and laugh out loud funny, this heartfelt story will appeal to anyone who understands how it feels to be a fan of ABBA or a fan of anyone. Now, that play had a limited run last year in Birmingham and the West End. I annoyingly didn't go to see it.
That was what I was going to ask you. Did you see it? It sounds really good.
It sounds fantastic.
But it's not showing anymore.
No, I keep checking the website to see if it's being revived. So yeah, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And the last song fact about The Way Old Friends Do, it's a very popular song at ABBA fan events, often closing the show with everyone singing along. Just one quote for this song. So Bjorn says, "We wrote The Way Old Friends Do specifically for the 1979 tour performance. We felt things needed to cool down if we did an encore." And you can kind of feel that kind of cooling down vibe, I think. It's a number we love singing and gives Benny a chance to play his favourite instrument, the accordion. So The Way Old Friends Do. I mean, I don't think you could find two songs more different in tone and style. What did you think of this one?
They're so different, and they really show the breadth of ABBA's repertoire, don't they? I had never heard that song before, which is probably shocking to ABBA fans, will be absolutely shouting at me for that. But I'd never heard it. But again, it's catchy in a different kind of way. I actually felt quite emotional listening to it. And I don't know if it's because it was live as well. So I immediately sort of was transported to imagining that I was in that stadium. I wonder what it was like, that feeling of being surrounded by other people sharing an experience at the same time, all singing along. I haven't had that since I saw Take That's reunion tour like 15 years ago. So, and I did cry when Gary Barlow came on stage.
Of course.
But anyone who's ever had that kind of experience could relate to hearing that. And not all live music does that. You know, like when you're listening to Glastonbury on the radio, like I'm not really bothered about hearing, like, I'd rather just be there and watch it live. I don't want to listen to the live reruns on the radio. Just play the studio version. I don't want to hear the live version. It's not as good as anyway, you know. And I know, again, loads of people be shouting me for that, but whatever, I stand by it. I said what I said. I think that ABBA song, the fact that it was live added to the magic of it.
I'm exactly the same. I don't tend to like live albums, to be honest, or live tracks. But this one, I think, as I said before, like they did sort of polish it a little bit. So you're not getting the rawness of the live performance. But I think it's actually enhanced a little bit.
Yeah, because it's got all the good bits and then none of the bad bits.
I don't think you've listened to the whole album in preparation for this, but I have. So I've been living these songs in my head. And it's weird how towards the end of the album we have Lay All Your Love on Me, which is like a frenetic aerobic dance routine, and then I see The Way Old Friends Do as like the warm down afterwards, or the warm down, or the rub down, or even the riz down, who knows.
I don't know if you can riz down. You can definitely riz up.
Okay,
I don't know if you can riz. Well, I'll find out. I'll report and get back to you.
Let me know. But no, I started to think about this kind of exercise class analogy, and it just reminded me again of university. And a friend of mine, we did sign up to an aerobics class called Pumpin' High-Low. Pumpin', N apostrophe, that was really important. And then High-Low, HI-LO.
Yeah.
And the deal was you could either do it as a high impact class or a low impact class. Of course, we did low impact and we stood at the back and we only lasted a few weeks. But yeah, it's just funny how how ABBA makes these things pop into your head.
That reminds me of a guy I went to school with called Carl, who used to sit behind me in tutor group, and he would sit behind me and wound me up for right through from year 7 to year 11, just going, pump it to the max. And he would do that all the time. Make of that what you will. It was the 90s, different times.
For me, like this song, it's almost like a tribute to friendship, isn't it? That warm, loving friendship, just expressed in just a simple way. It's like we can be comfortable in the silence with one another. Yes, we might fight, but it's all forgotten. We move on.
I think that's why it made me feel emotional, because that particular version with the live, you can hear people singing along. So you're imagining that shared experience. But yeah, the fact that it's about old friendships and the lyrics are very evocative. And I think as well, for me, this stage of life that I'm in now, you know, I've got some friends who have been old friends who I've known for, you know, over half my life, 3/4 of my life. Like my bestest, oldest friend has been my best friend since year 7. And we were 11, and we just recently had our 40th birthday together. So her birthday's 2 weeks before mine. When we were kids, you know, at school, we would often have joint birthday parties and, you know, plan our outfits and, you know, have a disco and plan which boys we were going to do like slow dancing with or whatever. And then this year we both went and stayed in her mum's got a holiday home in Cornwall. It's a really nice house, and we both had the whole house to ourselves. We just kind of sat around and chatted a bit, and then, you know, she went off. I went Saturday evening, she went off and had a 2-hour bath, and I lit the fire and sat by the fire and just read my book.
Yeah.
Just watched a bit of telly, went for a nice walk. Those kind of friendships where you just feel totally comfortable in the other person's company. You don't feel that you need to make conversation. You can be quiet together, but you also can just have a laugh because you've got so many shared like she would be laughing at Carl because she used to sit next to me and he was doing it to her as well. Because friendships can come and go, and I've got lots of people who I was really good friends with at particular points in my life, but we sort of drifted out of touch, not because anything specific happened, but our lives are just different. We live in different parts of the country, you know, and things like, you know, social media gives you this veneer of connection, because you sort of know what's going on in someone's life. Like I know if they've got with a new partner or had a child or got a new job, but you're not really connected. You don't really know them anymore. You're not part of their life anymore. But then there are other friendships that do remain, and you don't have to see them all the time. You can go years not seeing them, but when you do see them, it's just the same dynamic.
Absolutely.
And it's easy, and it's like you only saw them yesterday.
It's that shorthand, isn't it? It's just like you don't need to make an effort sometimes.
Exactly.
The effort has been done like years ago.
Yeah, and you don't need to do like a whole long preamble to something. And that song brings that feeling out, I think.
No official video for this one, so let's go straight to the batch YouTube comments. Actually, there's not that many. I mean, with Lay All Your Love on Me, there was just thousands of like TikTok references and things like that. This one's a lot simpler. Frau Yaya 7838 says, one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. I can feel this song, how deep true love goes and what it means. Ooh. Scott Dio 63 says, damn, this song makes me cry every time I hear it.
Oh, Scott.
Teresa Carr 1758 says, our dear mum loved this song. It reminds me of her and our dad's love for all of us. We sang this so many times at family gatherings. A lovely emotional song altogether.
Oh my God, you're going to make me cry again. That is lovely though, isn't it? That the thought of someone listening to that song in their living room and then, or wherever, and then writing that message on YouTube and thinking of their parents.
Well, let's bring the mood up slightly by...
Has my 9-year-old been on there again? One of her other aliases.
It's funny you should say that. So Sean Kirkland 4564 says, sad but beautiful lyrics. I was 9 years old and appreciated the music even then, which I think is like such a humble brag. Like, I so got it.
I'm just like a little bit better than you.
Final thoughts. I mean, I've said it. It's like the perfect warm down after quite a long journey. Certainly of the album, the way it comes in the whole sequence of the album, it's the perfect kind of way to sort of round things off and just cool things down, just slow things down. What do you think? You
know, Lay All Your Love on Me gets you going, and that one just kind of gets you gone.
Yeah. It rizzes you up?
Rizzes you down. Do you want to hear what my 9-year-old said about it?
Yes, please.
I liked it 9.5 out of 10.
So you liked it more than Lay All Your Love on Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you turn it off before it was only a quarter of the way through then?
Because I knew that I already liked it too much.
Oh.
But I think that was a bit of an inauthentic review from her, because she was like, oh yeah, I really like it. That's enough of that now. But I think that it's an end of the night one, isn't it? It's an end of the night, time to go and get a burger.
Yeah. Marks out of 10 for this one?
I'm not going to score it as highly, not because I think it's a worse song, but it just doesn't have as many, I don't have the emotional connection because I don't have all the memories to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay.
I feel like if I if I'd have known about this song before, then it could possibly even be a 10 because it is a lovely song. It did bring out an emotional response in me and I did feel connected to the song, but I've only heard it a few times. So just imagine if I'd have had like 30 odd years of it, then it would be right up there, I think.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Molly. It's been fantastic to catch up again because we haven't seen, we talk about the way old friends do. We haven't seen each other.
I know.
I think it must be like 10 or 11 years, I think.
Yeah, I reckon it about that much.
Far too long. Now, what I've been doing so far with the episodes that I've recorded is because I've been recording in person, I've been able to hand over a gift, but I'm not able to do that. So I will be sending you this gift after we finish recording, and I will want photographic evidence that it's arrived and you're wearing them. But I'm going to show you on my phone what I'm going to send you. Can you see those?
Oh my God. Okay, so they're black socks with ABBA writing. And as I'm seeing ABBA written, I didn't know the thing about why they named the band ABBA. You told me that just before we started recording. But as I'm seeing it, I think they definitely made the right decision of a name because there are so many other options they could have had.
Yeah.
ABBA.
ABBA.
Bab. Oh my God, it's the Bristol version.
Oh, well, Molly, it's been fantastic to catch up. And shall we honour the song we've just been talking about by sharing a silence the way old friends do? I mean, this is the worst way to end a podcast.
So serious looking at each other on, I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it.
So there we go. We have now completed Super Trooper. It's like a video game, isn't it? Where you've completed a level and you're just waiting to go to the next level. So I'm going to take a bit of a break from the podcast for a couple of weeks just so I can recover and also so I can record some more episodes for you. We will be back though fairly soon with the next album. So the next album we're going to look at is ABBA the album. So that's got some absolute corkers on there. Things like Eagle, Thank You for the Music, The Name of the Game, all these sort of wonderful treats that we've got in store. So I'm really looking forward to sharing those episodes with you at some point in the not too distant future. A couple of notes about the show links for this week. So I've obviously linked to Molly, who does amazing work with kids and stuff around their body image and how we should all learn to love our bodies, and it's fantastic stuff. She was quite modest at the end of the recording when I asked her to plug her stuff, and she said, oh no one wants to hear about that. Well, they do, Molly, and I've put a link to her website in the show notes for that. Now, Saturday just gone saw the start of Melodifestivalen. If you don't know, it's the kind of 6-week extravaganza on Swedish television that eventually decides what their Eurovision Song Contest entry is. And obviously, as I've referenced in the past, it's a big year because it's the 50th anniversary of ABBA winning the Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo. So they had a performance on there on the show on Saturday from A-Teens, who are the teenage ABBA tribute band from the sort of late 90s, early noughties. So they had a reunion performance on the show on Saturday and it was an absolute ball. So I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes. So yeah, that's it for this little sort of mini season. If you want to get in touch, Like a Magic Spell on Instagram or likeamagic_spell@gmail.com for the old emails, and I'll see you very soon. Like a Magic Spell is presented and produced by me, Adrian Stirrup. The theme was composed and performed by Ian Jones. Ian, thank you for the music. Hasta mañana.